very good afternoon to everyone present in this webinar. I am Bansri Mehta from second year College of Architecture SVIT Vasar. I coordinately welcome our speaker, Architect Deven Bhatt. I also extend my heartiest welcome to our follow attendees. Our college has come up with various webinars during this pandemic situation in topics like landscape architecture, conservation, products and furniture design, essence of architecture, architectural education, insights of real estate and valuation, uh, alumni series, and now we are continuing with the series today with architect Devin Bhatt, who will be sharing his insights on business of architecture. I request Professor Taha to address the webinar and show the glimpse of our college.
Uh, Thank you, Vansri. On behalf of SA Alumni Group, I would like to welcome Deven on this online webinar platform. Our alumni has brought glory to our institute in so many ways. They have set examples of being successful and good human being. I extend my warm regards to every member of our alumni who present in this webinar. I also acknowledge the presence of our principal, Shailesh Nair sir, Pragnesh sir, Ashwin sir, Pallavi Mehra ma'am, and all the faculties of COSUIT Vasa. The main intention of this alumni webinar series to promote healthy interaction between our alumni and young students. Before I give this platform to Devin, I would like to show a few glimpses of our college.
Thank you, Taha sir. Now I would like to introduce architect Devin Bhatt. Sir is a practicing architect and an urban manager. He is equipped with a high performance orientation and he doesn't restrict himself from working in a specific field only. Built environment is his forte and is involved in different verticals for the same. His areas of interest are design and execution of the corporate offices, commercial spaces, and residential houses. He has done several projects across Gujarat and has listed with a very satisfied list of clients. He has been interested in teaching as he feels what he learns on ground needs to be addressed to the students in a better equipped way. A young professional who is steady and surely in a building brand through professionalism. It's my pleasure, sir, to introduce you. The platform is all yours.
Thank you, Bansari. Am I audible enough, everybody?
Yes, Devin, you are clear.
Yes, yes.
Okay. First of all, good evening to all. And I would like to thanks Professor Shailesh Nair sir, first of all, for giving me this opportunity to speak where I have learned from. So yeah, I am an alumni of the same college, so it's a very privileged thing for me to give my experience, as in sir has given me the opportunity to go to share my experiences with the same college students which I where I've learned from. So very thankful to sir and the webinar team who has done the overall background work to put up this webinar specifically. So thank you for the team also. I would I would request you guys that this webinar would be an interactive session, I would say. So I would request your involvement because in that way you would be very much you would be enjoying the session, and I would be same way enjoying the session. So it would be good for me also and you also to learn in a better manner by interacting, and because the webinar is on business of architecture, uh, as we see that in college, as in the main motto after putting this webinar, me is like that. In college we learn so many things. We learn design, we learn construction, we learn bylaws, we learn processes, design processes specifically. But as soon as we step out of the college, if we want to start our own practice or something like that, then as in most of us, we don't know that what to do, what to start with, and how to start with specifically. So the webinar is specifically oriented to that if a person wants to start their practice and how to maintain the practice and then grow in future. So the webinar is specifically uh, designed for that. And so I would request sir and Taha sir to shall I start the PPT?
Yes, sir. Please, please.
Okay,
You have to.
thank you.
Yes.
Yes, David, you can start.
Thank you, sir. Um, is the slideshow visible?
Devin, you have shared the full screen, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. You can also share
Um,
only the presentation by clicking the second option on a window. Present now
right.
on only
But
window.
as in, is it visible or not?
Yes, yes, it's visible. But the book.
Then it's okay, no? If I share the
Yes, yes. Okay, no problem. Continue, continue.
okay, yeah, okay. Thank you. So see, in this the trick in Google Meet is that if I'm presenting, then I can't see you guys. So so please pardon me in between. I'll just stop the presentation, and because I need to interact with you guys. So in between, I would stop the presentation, then we will discuss something. Okay? Yeah. So so the background is like this, that after completing my bachelor's in architecture, that was in 2013, I've joined this architectural firm in Ahmedabad after graduating from SYT Vasat. There, I've worked as a junior architect and all. Then after that, in 2014, I've joined this course in SEPT, Masters in Urban Management. And there, actually, for me, there was a big purpose behind joining this course, because I was very fascinated about the by the course outline, as management is my very keen interest from very long, because I have been grown up in a business family, because my father was having a apparel business and all. I've grown up seeing him doing the business, and so the management part of it, as in managing clients, managing people, was my very much interest from the very beginning only. So after completing the architecture, I would really want I wanted to see I wanted to learn then how the built environment is going to manage, and then what are the challenges that are there to manage the built environment. So that's how I joined the course, and I completed it with in 2016. So after that, I've joined this real estate company, and then a year later, I've left the job and started my own practice. So, and it's been like now 5 years successfully completing to my firm with various, as in diversity in projects and also with a very successful and satisfied client list also. So the story I would so it's a story only. I would be telling storytelling only. So the presentation is been prepared as per that. So when I joined this company, real estate company, corporate firm, Valencia, India, in 2014. Sorry, in 2016, after completing my masters in urban management, I've been appointed as a architect project manager. So as we have heard about that, there are project managers, there are construction managers, there are executors. But have you guys heard about this post earlier, architect project manager? Please, anybody can say. Yes, no is also fine, because I would be explaining the job what an architect project manager do. So please, a yes or no would be okay also. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay. So students, please, I would want you guys to be participative, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, chalo. Go ahead. Okay, okay. So as in, if you have heard about it, then it's okay. If you haven't heard about it, then see, architect project manager is a person which has been employed by the owner or the company or the client only, who handles the execution part of it as well as the consultant part of it, who is a person who is a supervisor of all the work which has been planned for, or which has been under construction, or which has been execution for. So a person from client which oversees all the activities right from the scratch to the completion, and which whose major job is to coordinate with different entities, sorry, not entities, but different consultants, site engineers and all, and the procurement department. So the job of an architect project manager is to first of all develop and and review the plans that is been designed by or prepared by different consultants like architects or civil persons, sorry, architects or structural persons or HVAC drawings or all. So developing and reviewing the drawings is the major first portion that the post do, as in the architect project manager do. Then they prepare the costing part of it. So this Valencia India was a real estate firm who was building high-end villas. What do you say? My home, my resort kind of thing. So they were having a huge land chunk owned in Udaipur, and they were preparing and they were developing a whole township over there. Each and every villa is a resort in it itself, and it's a very high-end thing they were building up. So I was joined as an APM over there, and my job was to do the planning part of it, that the preparing the estimate and costing, that what would be the costing at the end of the project, and or the oversee whole the work coordination between the consultants and the engineers on site, that if there is any plus minus, or maybe some errors are there regarding the design, as well as, or maybe some errors regarding the execution part of it in there. So I need to do the back and forth part of it. My majorly time was being in touch with the CEOs and the directors, because I have been appointed by them only. I was their executive, you would say. So discussions with them regarding the costing part of it, regarding the uh, program, or sorry, regarding the construction stages, regarding the progress of the work and all, and regarding the procurement of things and all. So we were in day-to-day discussions with CEOs and the directors, and after that my job was to manage the contractors which has been hired by the real estate firm. So each and every work was assigned to a specific contractor. There were civil contractors, HVAC contractors, there were firefighting contractors and all. So I have to manage the contractors also, to see the site work, as well as to make them understand about the work requirement, the site requirement, because site was in Udaipur, and it's a hilly terrain. So lots of, as in executional problems we faced. We dealt with the problems, and we executed the thing in a very nice manner. Then I had to oversee and schedule all the timelines and all, because in construction we know that completing the project in time is very much important, and if we increase the time, then obviously the costing would increase. So I need to see that if I am giving a time to a certain contractor to do the job, then obviously overlapping the job is the main thing, but I need to see that the time, they match the time, they are doing the they're matching the DPRs and all. DPR is daily progress report. So I need to check all that of each and every person on site, as well as on contractor side. So then site planning and compliance. So site planning is like that. Because they have actually they've started this project in phase wise only. So in first phase there were around 27 villas, and the land they have bought. Then after that, actually their aim was to build 100 villas over there. So planning for that, acquiring land, and site planning, where would be the plot size, the land areas, the acquisition and all. So these all the things I had to look after of. And then procurement is the very major portion, I would say, because it requires the market survey, it requires the understanding of materials, it requires understanding of vendors, and the local trends, you say, and the techniques also, because it requires very much, you need to be sharp enough to see that what is going on in the market, and at what price, so that you can do the negotiation in a better way. So procurement also, I've been overseeing all these things. The job was very much challenging for me, and at the same time very much I've learned a lot from the job, because these kind of execution, being an architect, I was very much into the designing portion of it, and then after doing the masters in management, and how to manage the things, how to manage the facility and all. So I've learned all that. But when you get into the market, no, when you do the job by your own, then you learn a lot. Uh, academic learning is a 50%, I would say, but the 50 rest of the 50% is by your experience and by your own doing things. So this job required specific skills that I would say. First of all, you should be having a thorough knowledge of architectural. You should be having a immense amount of architectural experience in as per the scale of the project is concerned, or maybe the detailing of the project is concerned. Because if you are doing something wrong, then obviously uh, because of you, so many people and so many things are being affected. So you need to be sure enough about your job, what you are saying, what you are doing, and are you doing the right thing or not. You need to check yourself 10 times, I would say 50 times, that am I doing it right or not. Because if मैं ये करूँगा तो if something goes wrong, then obviously client has to pay for it, the owner has to pay for it, or maybe someone else has to pay for it. So yeah, I mean, the job requires very much architectural experience, you would say. Then obviously you should be good with drawings also, that detailing of drawing each and every, that working specifically. Because कई बार ऐसा होता है कि as in architects के यहाँ से drawings आती है, but they are not right, or maybe they are not as per the site conditions which are there, and the consultant is not at site. So you need to do you. So I was doing the Sutradar, what you say, you mediator of the execution and the architectural portion part of it. So I had to check each and every drawing in detail before sending them to the execution, or maybe before sending them to the engineers. So that things goes in a better way, and we don't have to delay the job. Then personal management. Personal management is obviously this job is requires personal management, and you need to manage. People management is the main thing that each business requires, I would say. And project management skills, obviously you have to manage each and every bit, the scale as well as the schedule of project, and then small details of each and every thing that project management considers, and you need to follow that. You need to have that project management skills. And then communication skills is very much required, that because you on day-to-day basis you're dealing with all sort of persons. You're dealing with the site engineers also, you're dealing with the contractors also, you're dealing with the consultants also, you're dealing with the higher management team also, you are dealing with the CEOs and the directors also. So you need to manage your communication skills in a very better manner, or would say very good way. Because if your communication skills are not good, then obviously it will affect on your job and your communication with different people. Then problem solving, because as we see that each and every project have problems in execution. Obviously problem occurs, and then we deal with it, and then we find a solution for it. So you need to be problem solving. You need to have the problem solving skills with you, that if something goes on, then you need to be ready with the solving things, that ye nahi to ye kar lo, and then move on with the work. So that's the thing, that was my work profile, and the skills that was required by the work profile for that corporate job. So about a year and a half, I did the job, and then after that, I left the job and started to thought of starting my own business, architectural practice, you would say. So in this, see, if you have a background, then I would say that things goes very much, or in a simpler way. But if you don't have the background, and then if you think that, sorry, I think before that I just missed it. This is the product picture that we prepared and then we executed. These are the villas. This is the Semper Villa picture. You can see the scale of the project. It has huge, immense amount of landscape, the pool deck, high-end facilities, jacuzzi and all, even spa is there. Then, so it was a 5 BHK huge villa. This is sample villa. So yeah, some pictures of that, which we prepared and then executed, and then end of the thing, this is the product which we made. So yeah, the thing which I was talking about is business. So after thinking of starting my own practice, I was like, what to do? करूँगा क्या मैं? Then how to start with things? Then you need to see the market first, that or maybe you need to see first that what in what stream and or what sort of product that you would want to deliver to the market, because in market there are lots and lots of players who all are there from a very long time, and then they are doing they are doing very good in market. So how you can put yourself in market and then say that don't choose them and choose me? So you need to be having something very good. You need to be sharp enough to make them understand that what makes you better from them. So I was just thinking of that, and then I sort of came to the point that in architecture there are lots and lots of players for the designing and the designing part of it, or maybe say there are lots and lots of players who are doing good in designing and have very much good clients with them. And but as my work profile was in my corporate job, I was into execution, and that was my strength basically. So I thought of merging both of them, the designing and the execution part of it, and then sort of I should say I would pitch in like this, that designing and execution would be my way forward for each and every client and each and every project. Because see, designing you do and execution someone else do, but if you provide both the things in the same under the same roof, then obviously it would be good for the client. And so see, this was my thought. So the thought was like this, and that's how I started my business, and then approaching things and all. So in business, first of all, obviously you would require you need to have a strong networking, how to build the network and all. Before that networking, I would say you need to understand, or maybe identify that who would be your clients, who would be your vendors, who would be your contractors, and who would be your consultants. Because before doing the networking or before pitching to somebody, you need to have the base ready. You need to have the platform ready with you. Then only you can pitch into someone. Pitch to someone. So I was in that thing that first I need to prepare my platform ready. So client would say that here client is like this, that what sort of project or what sort of clientele that you are looking for. You want to do the residential part of it, you want to do the commercial part of it, you want to do the corporate part of it, you want to do the leisure part of it, you want to do the urban scale part of it. So what sort of clientele that you are looking for? You want to do the government part of it. So what sort of clientele that you were looking for? So here the client, identify the client is referred to that. So because see, if you don't specify the clientele, no, then you would be running here and there, and then obviously as an architect, as a designer, I can do anything, I can design anything, I can execute anything. But just to give a start, I would say that it's very much necessary that you specify your clientele, and then move accordingly. Then put your each and every effort to reach the clientele. So after that you need to have your team ready. So under your team, you would be having your consultants, your vendors, and your contractors. because I decided to do the execution part of it also. So I had to identify all these three too, because because to do the execution. So if you do the market that same way, vendors are also a lot of vendors are there who everybody knows vendors, right? Guys, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so so I had to identify the vendors. So that कौन मेरा जॉब करेगा, एज इन किसके पास को किसको मैं मेरा प्रोजेक्ट दूं, या किससे मैं रिलेशन बनाऊं, या किसको मैं अपनी टीम में लूं. दैट वाज माय मेन कंसर्न फॉर वेंडर्स एंड कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स and consultants also, that if the consultant is good enough or not, that he or she knows the job or not, and will they be appropriate for me as an association or not. So these are the things that I was preparing for to make my base ready. And after that, I've decided that these would be my vendors, these would be my contractors, and these would be my consultants for each and everything, like from very starting to the civil to and firefighting, or maybe each and every consultant, vendors, contractors for each and everything. So I prepared my base ready, and then I thought of to pitching to the client. So that's how it's so finding a client is also a different ball game altogether. That how to find a client, because client रास्ते पे तो मिलेंगे नहीं आपको कि आपको जॉब दे देंगे या फिर आपको बोलेंगे कि हाँ भाई मेरा काम कर लो and all. So you need to have a strategy, or you need to have a way forward, or thinking that मैं client कहाँ से लाऊंगा, where to find the clients and all. So as we know, it's very much known that first we start with the friends and relatives. So obviously they can trust you. They feel like that okay ठीक है, तुमने पढ़ाई इतनी की है, then you have worked a lot, and so you do my job. So first option is that friends and relatives is the option. Second option is association. Association is like that two different architects can associate together, two different consultants can associate together and do the job. If because someone else have must have got the client, and वो अगर हैंडल नहीं कर सकते हैं तो ऑब्वियसली, और मे बी वो ऐसा कर देंगे लाइक दे मस्ट बी डूइंग द बिगर प्रोजेक्ट्स, एंड देन they don't want to get into the smaller project, and they shifted the project to you, and then you do the job. And maybe association, what sort of association, many kind of association can be done in business, or in between the consultants. So the second is association. Third is online platform, obviously. Put me in touch in what do you say, Vadodara, Ahmedabad, and whatnot. So the Facebook is the thing, the Insta is the thing. Right now, I would say Facebook, Insta, as well as social media. So yeah, online platform is also a platform where you can find clients, and you can approach, and you can meet and just get the job. So yeah, the lastly you can get the job from by the design competitions, that architectural design competition, or maybe any other private firm floats that design competition for architects and all, or maybe executors and all. So by design competitions, or approaching the design competition, or maybe getting into design competition, you can propose the designs and then get the job. So these are the ways that you can do the networking part of it, and then approach the client and find the clients and all. So secondly is the vendor and the contractor selection, I would say. So in that, if you are into, so vendors and contractor selection is a very key thing, like I said earlier also. So don't I don't go by the pricing, or maybe by the scale of their projects, or what they are doing. I am basically going that selective on the basis of that will they be appropriate for being as in to be as my team partners, because can I see them as in my team? Will they be okay to perform as a team in my supervision and all? So are they supportive enough or not? Are they good there in their jobs or not? Or are they obviously costing part of it is there, that are they economically better in that manner or not? So the selection process is like this, that I first of all you define the description, so sorry, you define the requirements to them, that these are the requirements that I have a project have, and then what sort of things that you have to do, either it's vendor or contractor, and then you establish the criteria, that these are the criteria in that you have to do, you have to complete the job in this time frame only, you have to uh, choose these materials only, they do give the specifications of materials and all also. And you have to do, so the job is in as in based where or not. So these are the establishing, so you need to establish the criteria in front of them, and then solicit the bid. Then you see that these are the things, ये bids आई हैं, and they give you the bids, that bid is like their proposal, you would say. So they give their proposals, and you then evaluate the proposals, the costing part of it as well as the quality part of it, and then obviously you select the vendors and contractors. So so you have your, I have my team, but still I do this selection portion, because it's good to have options with you, and as much as options you have for different works, so then you're not stuck with the single portion, single vendor or single contractor only for the specific job. And if something goes wrong, then you obviously can switch to the another person. So these are the sorting part that I personally do, and obviously most of others also must be doing. Then how you interact with client, that firstly interaction is very much important. It starts with your first look, your appearance, and firstly obviously just say, if I give an example, uh, your physical presence is very much important, because that's the first image that you make in client's mind, that okay, yes, so you're dressing, your confidence on things that your job or not, and your command on your subject, that you should be having your immense amount of command and a strong command on your subject, because if you don't have the command on your subject, no, then client वो कहीं ना कहीं से दिख ही जाता है client को, because clients are, if you nowadays you would say, I would say that clients are more smarter than you. You might have learned a lot, you might have experienced a lot, you might have gained the knowledge, but in some sense clients are more smarter to judge you in any manner. And then if they judge you in a wrong way, then obviously you will not be able to create an impression and all. So first thing is like your dressing, your confidence, your body language, and your command is the first basic thing that you should be having during the conversation with the client, or maybe meeting with the client. Then you need to understand their social and cultural needs, I would say, and because mostly we do that, okay, समझ लिया हमने, हमको पता चल गया, and then we just do the things as per our interest. But that's not the right way. You need to understand the client's need, because it's their job, it's their requirement, and they are dealing with the job. So it's very much important that you need to understand their cultural and social needs. Socially, that are they social enough or not? Are they, because for an example, if you're designing a house, small house, then for a nuclear family or for a joint family, you would say. If you're a joint family, then they are social enough or not. If they are nuclear family, then they are social enough or not. Are they having the weekly parties or monthly parties conducting at their homes or not? So the culture and social part of it, the cultural part of it is like that. That are they what is their culture? So day-to-day basis पे what they do, what is the daily routine. So need to understand the each and everything in a detailed manner. Then you present accordingly. You present the presentation and you prepare the presentation as per the need of the client, obviously by adding on your expertise on spaces and functional requirements, and then you pitch that आपकी understanding or आपकी needs के हिसाब से I have designed this, and then each and everything you need to explain them, and then obviously you get the job and then you close the deal. So that's how you create an impression or prepare the design or by understanding their needs and get the job. Now the second portion is first there is first portion as far as the client interaction and getting the job is concerned, getting the project. Second is execution. So in execution, we need to plan for each and everything. If you are doing the execution of certain project, we need to plan for right from the procurement of things to the execution and execution part of it. So first of all, you need to define the scope of the work, that हमें इतना करना है, that I have this much to do, and this in this much time frame also. So the scope is very much required to be prepared at the very early stage of execution. Then you prepare the procurement strategy, that where to procure. If you're procuring from nearby vendors, or you're procuring from some other city, you're procuring some other country also. So how you're procuring things. So you need to have the procuring strategy with you, that if I'm getting the material from the other country also, then how much time it will take, and then what sort of things that I need to do to procure the things and all, and the pros and cons of each and everything. So we need to prepare a strategy to procurement of each and everything to execute the work or on site. Then you project control. That project control is a thing that you need to see that this much time frame we have. So project control is basically a document which you prepare to see the time and the costing part of it for the particular project, that itna time लगेगा मेरे को और इतना मेरा budget में रहेगा. So you need to see the project controls also. You need to have the project control document also. So prepare that. You need to prepare that. And resource planning, that how you plan your resources and all, how you use the local resources and all, how you do the execution, and you use the resources in a better manner, and then you do the execution part of it. So preparing the resource planning is also very much important. Then project execution approach. Project execution approach, for an example, I would say that if you have a project in Ahmedabad, and in a multi-story thing, then surrounded by a locality of having the bungalows and all, then if I need to do the multi-story, then I need to consider the nearby persons who are staying also. So my execution should not affect them, and I need to be well prepared enough to execute the things in a proper way, so that my execution is also take place in a better manner, and then at the same time I don't bring any trouble to the nearby users also for other properties. So project execution approach is very much important. Then design plan, what are the drawings that you need, at what point you need, what sort of details that you require, that what sort of so each and everything that design plan has, so that you need to prepare. Then risk in identification, that if you have some risky factor on your site or nearby your site, then identify that, and then obviously prepare some plan to deal with it. And then mission statement is like that what you ultimately want to achieve, and also this is just a statement which you need to prepare and all. Then commissioning and validation, that commissioning is मैंने execute तो कर दिया, then validation part of it is also there, that commissioning के बाद एक validation part होता है, that check करके देने का. If I have executed something, then obviously client would verify that or maybe validate that validation period is a can be a month also, and can be 3 months also, can be the 10 days also, just to see the things that all the things that we have executed are running in a proper manner or not. So so validation of that particular thing executed or commissioning thing. And then construction plan, obviously we prepare that. So these are the project execution plan that we need to see before starting any project on site for execution. Then project completion. Here I would like to share two stories of my own. And see, if you complete the project, no, then you have a success, the feeling of success, that yes, I've completed the thing. I completed it very nicely. Clients are very happy. My work is been was on schedule only, and then so the story is like this, that this was my, I think, fourth or fifth project with the client, and the client was a Marwadi, and we were doing their bungalow in Sabarmati and all, Sabarmati area. So the point is that the client was very much involved in the process of execution with us only. That at the point of completion, he was staying with us on site 24/7, I would say, for a 4-5 days thing. And then we stayed together, we shared our things, we seen the process of execution. Each and every vendor or contractor, each and every contractor is working 24/7 at site, and then हम वहाँ पे ही खाते थे, वहाँ पे ही सो जाते थे मुझसे घंटा 2 घंटे के लिए. So and after completing that project, no, the feeling of success and was like on my face and on my team's face after where we handed over the thing to the client. And then even the client satisfaction was there, that client was satisfied enough and very much happy with our job. He was very very warm, very helpful, and we just completed the thing, and then we shifted to another project. So this was the thing, that you complete the project, you get the acknowledgement, you get the satisfaction, you get the joy, you get the happiness, each and every good things that you can measure, you can have it. But if something goes wrong, then obviously it has a certain learning only. So the second story I would want to share is like that. This is another bungalow that we completed 2 years back. And actually, the coincidence is like this, that the reference was given by the same client with home story I just shared with you. So he was their friend only, and then family friend. And another bungalow with it was, I think, 5 BHK with the home theater and all. So we completed the thing in a duration of 3.5 months and all. Day and night we worked. I only stayed at site for for a week, me and my team, for execution part of it, because they were staying in a rented apartment, and then their lease document was completing, and then they had to shift the thing. They had to shift to the new place. So in that crux situation, we had to complete the thing before the time span was given for. So we completed the thing. We handed over the bungalow, and because because it was a reference. So the money portion, I was sure about that mil jayega. As in, there was a money portion that was being that was pending from client side, and I thought that okay, मिल जाएगा, कोई बात नहीं, ये reference से है तो कोई बात नहीं, चलो मिल जाएगा. So they shifted, and then after shifting 15-20 days, post 15-20 days, I just called them and then asked them that what about the money that is pending. So they said that it's right now there's a emergency going on. My father is in hospital, and so just give me a month's time, and then I'll pay it off. I said okay. I just convinced my vendors and the client, contractors also, said, कि please आप थोड़ा महीना रुक जाइए. उनके थोड़ा there's a problem in their family, and then we need to understand things. So thankfully, my contractors and vendors are helpful enough, and they understood, and then they said okay, कोई बात नहीं. After a month, I again called him and then asked him that please what क्या हुआ पैसे का. So he said that नहीं मिलेंगे पैसे. So I was like, I was really shocked by hearing him saying the words. So बोले नहीं मिलेंगे. And then we went to, as in me and my vendors and contractors went to his place and all. He was just straight face, said no to all the things. He and his family both, and still so till date the payment is pending only, and it was a huge payment pending, as in 6.5 lakhs, I would say, near about that. So but we didn't do anything. Sorry, we couldn't do anything. What we did do, but we couldn't get the money. We went to the police also and all, but things didn't work out. So here my learning was like that, don't stretch yourself much, and do the job at the requirement part of it only, and do the things that you are hired for only, and don't trust too much, but trust the people, but don't trust too much. So learning is like that, you do something, then you fail also. In everything, in every project, in every practice also, you get the success, you get the failure also. So how to deal with the failure, how to adapt the failure, and how to learn from the failure is a very much important thing. And that's what I got from that failure. And then but still I do the job with very much faith, but with obviously the accountability part of it, and with accounting, with each and every detail having in mind, and to the execution part of it. So that's the thing. Then after that, if you really want to sustain your business, no, you need to be aware about these things, and you need to practice things day-to-day basis. Like if I want a growth in life or in business, then it's not a overnight job. You need to give the efforts each and every day and night, and then so these are the things that you need to know. First of all, you top talent. You need to be strong enough. You need to be patient enough, and you need to be good enough in your job. That what am I doing? I'm best at it. You would say that. You would feel that, and you would experience that. That जो भी मैं कर रहा हूँ, I'm best at it. Second is operational efficiency, that your operational efficiency should be good enough to complete anything, or to get the trust also of clients. So operational efficiency is very much important, that you need to be efficient enough to in your operations to get the things done in a timely way. Then prospecting the right clients. So as I said earlier also, that you need to identify the clientele and then prospect the right clients, that ये मेरा here I can do something and I can get something from him. I can do something or get something. So you need to identify the right client for the business growth. Then you need to be a sound decision making. Then you need to be very much sound with the decision making part of it. That because in business you take decisions which can be right, can be wrong, but if you take the right decisions at right time, then obviously your growth, the percentage of your growth, the business growth is very much high, and then obviously you grow day to day to day to day. Yeah, so that way you need to be your decision making skills should need to be sharp enough. Then great leadership quality is immensely important. You need to handle your contractors, you need to handle your vendors, you need to handle your clients, you need to handle your each and every person who is working for you, and encourage them, and help them if they are not doing the things in the right way, to make them, help them so that they can do the things in the right way. So leadership quality is very much important to succeed, to get success in each, or for each and every business. So you need to be very sharp with the leadership skills, and please don't get afraid of losing on things, or maybe failure. If you fail, then only you get the understanding that मुझे ये नहीं करना है. You get to know that what sort of thing that I should not be doing, and you get to know things that what you should be doing. So don't be afraid of to grow, and don't be afraid of failures also. So here are some pictures of the projects that I have been doing from the very first start of my things. And here I would say I rest my case. Thank you. The presentation was majorly to make you understand the small things, yet very much important, to grow your business, to start your business, to understand things, and to understand each and every technical and the quality part of it, to execute anything and to design anything. Thank you. Right. If some questions or some discussion anybody would want to do, then please welcome.
The webinar is open for question answer round. Anybody can ask any question in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Please feel free. He's our alumni, so he can guide you if you have any questions.
There is one comment by Avni Thakkar, madam. Very nicely explained professional practice in all aspects.
So I want the students to ask questions.
Hello, Isha ma'am. Yes,
Isha
madam.
ma'am, I would personally like to thank Avni Thakkar madam, because I have seen her presence in all the webinars and it is very motivating for us and our
Yes.
effort of SCIT. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much.
She is our alumni, madam.
Yes, she is an alumni of MSU, no?
Yeah, Ketan's classmate.
Yeah. I'm aware of that, sir. So it's so nice of her that she always takes time, and it is actually very motivating for us.
Yeah.
So Isha, we can propose the vote of thanks.
Yes, Bansri.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your insights. It was a wonderful session. I would request Professor Isha Dalal to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Bansri, for the wonderful MOC. I thank architect Devin Bhatt for sparing his valuable time for this insightful session. It was a pleasure to have you. I'm extremely thankful to all our attendees for being a part of this webinar. I would like to thank Principal Professor Shailesh Nair sir for his exemplary support and motivation. I also thank Nest Trust, our chairman, Sir Mr. Bhaskar Bhai Patel, for constant motivation to all of us. Last but most important, I extend my heartiest gratitude to my fellow mates and the technical team who is working 24/7 for this webinar. Continuing the SA webinar series, we are having webinar on 16th, that is day after tomorrow, by architect Siddharth Bhayani on architectural journalism. So again, I request everyone to please be there and be a part of our webinar. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Devin.
Even rest of the doubt, I think
Thanks
students
a
will
lot.
ask you in the college only.
Yeah.
No problem. Anytime. Thank you. It's been a pleasure, and thanks a lot. Thank you.
Okay.